We have an action-packed summer cyclocross. We've got slides, we've got big battles, and of course we've got crashes. So let's get into it. And we are away, and I didn't manage to get clipped in first time. You'll see that drop in power, so not my best start, but getting on the front row start massively helps. So I'm sitting in 5th place right now, and you know the juniors go out fast. They go out like absolute rockets, and Paul Lloyd's up on second wheel, and I know you can see I'm looking here. I'm trying to move up because I want to be on Paul's wheel as soon as possible, because if you've ever seen this man race, he's an animal, and once he hits, this course has some savage long drags. Once he hits them, man puts down some power and you need to be in the wheels. But it was full gas straight from the gun. Look, we're nearly hitting like 1,000 watts out of the corner, giving it beans. I started trying to move up here and I thought I could get 2 places because I could see that gap opening to Paul, but I almost went straight through the tape there trying to take the outside line. So I had to bail out of that one. But as soon as I could see that gap going, I knew I needed to get round, and then whoop-boom, your boy Tokyo drifted it. I was getting too excited, trying to put the power down too early out of that corner, had the slick tyres on and it was a little bit slippy, and I don't know how I saved that. My back wheel slipped into next week and I lost confidence, and then yet again here, coming out of this corner, I went to put it down early, slipped there, went to put it down again, slipped again. Your boy was having a nightmare, and to be honest, it was just where I was being too aggressive trying to get out the corner. So you can see I've lost this gap and now I'm trying to shut down the gap. And you can see Paul Lloyd has just turned the screw and gone now. So those mistakes massively cost me. It doesn't matter, you just cannot afford to make mistakes. But I got back on this group and I thought, sod it, I've got to go now. I saw the elbows getting flicked at the front. I thought, your boy's got to go round, try and shut this gap down. Because look at how quickly it opens up. Paul's gone round that top corner already. And like I said, if I'm not on his wheel, I can't close that down. So this was my bridge attempt to get over absolutely everything I had at the moment, because I knew once it's gone, it's gone. But unfortunately, your boy didn't manage to bridge over. But I did shut the gap down to second place. These juniors going off like absolute rocket ships. And then this is when the battle starts. Rob from Handsling comes round and he goes on the inside, gets a little bit slidey into there. Love to see it. I got a better line, but didn't actually have the power to get past these boys. But honestly, I was hanging on at this point. They nearly dropped me through this section. And I was thinking, that's it. Georgie boy's been dispatched from this group. I had to dig in to stay with these boys. Admittedly, I was cornering like an absolute numpty. Once you start sliding, the confidence goes, and I was having an absolute mare. I think I had a little bit too much pressure, but managed to jump on, and then it went from good to bad because my teammate chopped me. Look at this. I was about to come on the inside. Bang! Just stuck the elbow on me, Luke. Pushed me to the outside. Disgusting behaviour. I'll get you sacked from 4th for moves like that. Del boy, can't be letting him do that to your son. No, I'm joking. I saw Luke coming up the inside. If it's anyone else, I'd have shut the door on him. But he should not be chopping his teammate right there. And yet again, you'll see how much confidence I lost. So coming into this section, this is where I slipped on lap 1. I then eased off the gas because I was worried that I was going to deck it again. And there was a few little bumps and that through there. You saw that little bit of hit then. You just couldn't see it through the grass. But as soon as you lose confidence in the cornering, you lose so much time. And you can see just here, I just wasn't on it fast enough. Let that gap open. And then you're trying to shut down a gap into the headwind and not getting any draft. And these long straights have never been a strength of mine. So lesson learned. Get on top of your cornering and don't get overexcited on lap 1. But as you see, Luke moved up into the front and he just absolutely hit it on the front. Rob tried to go with it, didn't manage to. I then bridged back onto Rob, and this was now the battle for 3rd place. So Paul was way ahead in 1st. 2nd place was Luke. That was signed, sealed, delivered. And this was the big battle. Me, Rob, and there was Anthony sat on the wheel as well. So this was it. The big battle was on. I've moved back up into 1st place, and not into first, well, into the front of this group, and I was feeling strong. The problem was I didn't have the power to get away from these boys. They were super strong on these long drags. So I'm on the front for like the next sort of lap and a half. But you know if you put that surge in, where the speed's so high at this course, we averaged like nearly 25k an hour. So there's a massive benefit of being in the draft. And I felt like if I gave it a match along here, I wasn't going to get away. So Anthony come round here, I jumped on the wheel. It's an absolute godsend when you're on a wheel down here to suck. But yeah, as I was saying, look at the pace we're going. It's so hard to pull away. So at this point right now, I was saying to myself, you've got to just hang in there, stay with this group. And I knew I was going to leave it to the last sort of half lap to make my dig and get my attack in for third place. But boy, oh boy, were the boys absolutely pinning it. And tell you what, I can't help myself. If you ain't rubbing, you ain't racing. As soon as the door opens, I've got to go past. It's like an invitation. So although I was on the front for a couple of laps, I then ended back up on the front. And it was because I couldn't contain my excitement when that little gap opened. I just had to go on the inside. But I remember just here thinking, I do not want to be on the front again. You're trying to not give it all your beans because you do not want to blow up. And you're just towing people along here. So you're on the front and you're giving people a free ride. But thankfully, on the next lap, I think it is, Rob comes back round. So you'll see a lap later, my heart rate's not maxed out. In this race, I'm maxed out about 184. So I was feeling in control, but it was just about playing the game now. So Rob came round, jumped on, and he put in a big dig along here. He was obviously feeling super strong. You see him get down on the drops, and he gets out the saddle, gives it a little nudge. I was like, hello, here we go. Time to put down some ponies. And the race was on, ladies and gentlemen. So I sat on Rob's wheel for a bit and he was keeping the pressure nice and fast, and there was another group like chasing us, so we couldn't mess about too much. But it was really good because we were all sort of taking turns, but I think all of us knew it was going to come down to a last lap battle. So we were coming into, I think we had 2 laps to go here now. So Rob flicks his elbow. At first I thought I'm not going round with 2 laps to go. But I thought, I better not play those games. I'll go round. And then at this point now, what I'm trying to suss out is where I'm going to make my move. So I need to think, how can I get away from these boys and still not give them a toe sort of thing. So every corner I'm making, I'm looking over my shoulder, seeing where I'm opening up gaps and stuff like that. Sorry, we've actually got 2 laps to go now. So Rob comes back round, 2 laps to go at this point. The last lap was 3 laps to go. And like I said, I'm just searching at where I'm going to make my move. And obviously things can happen, like someone else might make an attack. So you've got to cover those attacks as well. But I'll show you where this is the point I was going to make my move. On the last lap, as we come round here, I was going to absolutely ping it. Because what was crucial is that you got into the really tight corners near the finish in first place, because it was super hard to get round riders. So the next little clip where we're going round these tight corners here, I knew I needed to be into this section first. If I was into that section first, I was going to take third place basically. And you can see my heart rate's at 162. So I'm fairly in control at the moment, and I know I'm going to be able to make that move to get to the front. So I'm letting Rob do the work, stay on the front, and I know where I'm going to ping it. But he was putting on the pressure. Me and Anthony had to work to stay on his wheel, and he was looking really strong. So I'm going to play out this last bit of footage here. Look, you can see absolutely whacking it up here. But I think all of us knew we didn't want to take that long drag down the far section because you're giving the guys on the back a free ride. So I was happy to let Rob sit on the front, but I think he also probably knew, and I think he said to us after the race, he didn't want to be on the front for this next section, and that was why he made the mistake. So here it comes, ladies and gentlemen, the bit you've all been waiting for. We've got about 3 minutes left of racing, and it is full gas, and mistakes are about to be made. Rob tries to put down the power too early out of this corner. Here we go. You can't park there. Oh, I nearly went straight into the back of him, and admittedly, initially I absolutely whacked it, but then I just settled into a pace. And I had Anthony on the wheel, and he was just saying to me, go on, go, give it some. And I was thinking, no, I don't want to drag you along. I've got my plan. I know when I'm going to attack. I've still got another like 15, 20 beats before I hit max heart rate. So I'm checking over my shoulder, making sure no one's going to hit me with an attack along here. And because I didn't whack it, it gave Rob the chance. He jumped back up, and I think he sprinted, got back on this train. But the problem was he probably burnt his match. So a little mistakes cost him there, because he was looking super, super strong in this race. So fair play. So up this next bit, I had to give it a little nudge, and we were now in a group of 3. I knew where I was going to attack, and I literally going down here. I know sometimes people say, yeah, just look where you're going, but I was looking over my shoulder all the time, waiting for one of them to attack. Waiting for the attack to come, and it didn't come. So that is when I knew, as soon as I hit that section that I mentioned on the last lap, your boy was going to go thermonuclear to secure 3rd place. Heart rate's starting to rise now, and this is when I whacked it. Out of this next corner, I just absolutely pinged it. Little dig here to get to the next one, then bang, on the gas. 1,000 watts! Your boy's hitting 1,000 watts! What's going on? And then it was just a case of absolutely whacking it down here. I could see this back marker, and I was like, oh, this could be... So I had to take a bit of an iffy line on the inside into this corner, which wasn't ideal. But another 900 watt attack out of there. Paul Lloyd had already finished on the right there. And right now, look, you can see the heart rate starting to max now. It was just on the gas, get it done. And that was it. I literally, not to big myself up, I felt like I timed that effort to absolute perfection, to absolutely empty the tank. And I knew when I hit this section here that they weren't going to close the gap on me. So you can see there on the left, I think that was Rob. So I'd opened up enough of a gap that it was just now about staying on 2 wheels, getting the job done. But what a wicked race. That's what's amazing about cross. You don't always have to be at the front. You can be battling it out for 3rd place, and hats off to the other 2. It was wicked fun battling it out with them. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.